All right. You want to count us in?
Drum roll. 3, 2, 1. Can't count. Take it away.
What up? Welcome to another episode of Necro Electric. I am your friendly neighborhood metalhead, and I brought along my baddest bitch here, my wife Kylie Skellington, and representing her culture, all of her people, all of her husband's people, the fiery, no pressure, Miss Susana Lopez.
What?
In Texas, last time it was hot as fuck. Today it's raining and it's hot as fuck. I don't understand.
Me either.
And we all just love black, so
It's
we're fucked.
muggy. What's our topic today?
Topic today is disasters.
All right. But if we're gonna do disasters, let's do it like this. Disaster in any sense of the word.
Okay.
So it could be a natural disaster that we talk about, or it could be whatever. It could be like dates gone wrong disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a little kid, one of my first dates, my very first time ever seeing boobs in person.
Okay.
Right? I was in the back of a van on I don't know what you call it, like a family trip or like a friend trip. I was with a girl all the way in the back of a van, and my friends were in the van, and her dad was driving.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not going to say her name or anything because, I don't want to.
Yeah, leave it out.
But I remember my buddy Matt Reynolds was in the seat in front of us, and he was like trying to get this girl to like show her boobs to him, right? And then he's like, "Come on, dude, come on." And then I'm like working my best like 12-year-old game,
Mm-hmm.
And I got her to
12-year-old game. No one has game at 12.
It was stressful, dude, because the dad was driving, and I could see his ass like in the rear view. He's kind of like
He wanted to kill you.
He's like, what is that kid doing way back there with her? And I was like, come on, just like show me your boobs, And she was like, all right, real quick. And then she showed me, but it wasn't good. She had like nipples like fingers.
Oh, 12 years old?
Yeah.
Ruined.
And like I'd only seen like, pictures and like old like crappy porno mags and stuff when I was a kid. And so I was expecting like, something totally different, and she did it, and then I was like, no, put it down, And then my buddy Matt was like, what the fuck is going on back there? I was like, I don't know, dude.
Like pacifier titties.
Yeah, it really freaked me out, and like I felt really bad too, but at the same time I was like really taken back. Yeah, I was like, damn, dude, put them away, dude.
See, that's the disasters.
Yeah.
Like all these pornos and stuff make men think that women's bodies are all the same and all like that, and that's just not cool.
I could have
could
have hung my beanie on these motherfuckers, dude. Like it was all bad, dude.
There are nipples in all different shapes and sizes. Okay.
Yeah. I just wasn't. I didn't know they existed like that.
They do.
Yeah, and then
like,
she started crying, and the dad was like,
shit.
"What's going on back there?" Like. I'm like, don't worry about it, Steve.
Too, but your daughter's nipples are fucking wild, Steve. They're looking at me.
Yeah, it was all bad. And then she got mad, and I ended up
nipple up.
because we went to Santa Cruz, and then I ended up like sitting with my friends in the front of the van on the way back.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, boobs.
But that was a disaster.
Actually made for babies.
Yeah.
We
surprise.
We carry them all the time. They engorge and they
the boobs or the babies.
The boobs. The boobs. we carry them all the time, but other animals, like the boobs only come out when they have the babies, and then they go away. But we carry them all the time, so it's been sexualized.
Your boobs are always out.
They're never out.
Boobs and nipples were made for that, so maybe she was still growing or something. I don't know. Maybe she.
Yeah, I don't know.
Poor girl.
It was a disaster, though.
I'm crying, laughing.
What about you guys? Like, when it came to boys and stuff, was there any disasters that took you guys back?
Yeah.
The first time seeing a wiener, was that all crazy or what?
The first what?
Time you saw a piece, somebody unsheathed. Were you like, what the fuck?
Pretty much.
I've told my husband this, so I can share this story.
Uh-oh.
Okay, but there was this like Asian guy, and then boom, that's it. You already know. I was like, oh no.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
we gotta clear that up.
As in, like.
Oh no.
Like, damn.
Stereotype.
Yeah. I was like, no wonder there was a lot of mouth work going on, because when you get to the main event, it's like, ooh.
Oh.
So I was like, oh.
Shout out to Bobby Lee.
I'm sorry, but size does matter. Like, if it's too fucking small, like, maybe then I thought, let me give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, maybe he's not all the way there yet or something. And he was.
Oh, no.
And I was
Even
like,
worse.
that shit looks like a thumb.
Disaster.
Like, I was like, get away from me.
Oh, man.
I feel bad, but, you know, it was a huge turn up. It was like, close shot, bye-bye.
Oh, no. Bigger disaster for me is like when the bush is like pretty much bigger than the piece.
The bush?
The bush.
Oh, my God. Yes, like, trim yourself. Like, take care of yourself. This ain't no 70s porn. Like, nah, man. It's not cool. Well, at least not for me, yeah. Stuff like that. I think most of my disasters have been, like, sexual disasters or encounters or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fucking muggy today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about, speaking of, like, Texas and California, like, all my friends, when they talk about natural disasters, they're always like, oh, dude, you moved to fucking Texas, you got those fucking tornadoes and shit.
Twisters.
You're fucking stupid, you know, but the way I look at it, and fuck you for fucking thinking this shit, but with the fucking natural disasters, the way I look at it, when you live in Texas, if a tornado does hit somewhere around here, you have like a small percentage that's gonna fuck up your house or fuck you up or whatever.
Yeah, that your house is like actually in that tornado's path.
Texas is like the size of like 3 fucking states, like West Coast states, you know what I mean? So I have a lottery chance that nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
When a fucking earthquake hits San Jose, we're all getting hit in fucking San Jose.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, well, you know, maybe I will, maybe my neighbor won't. No. No. So I don't want to hear any more of that shit.
We've already lived through one of those earthquakes.
We lived through a bunch, but
the big one.
Yeah, the 89 earthquake.
What was your scariest? Yeah,
the 89 earthquake. That was like, I don't know if it was a 5.0 or bigger or whatever, but it was like it was like the biggest earthquake that we had. I was a little kid at the time. You were like 1.
I was in a crib.
Yeah, me too.
I remember I was just a little kid, and I lived in an apartment complex. It was kind of like enclosed, like a big Coliseum circle, and they had a pool in the middle. And my mom told me to go check the mail, and they were doing like some sidewalk like construction like in the front of the apartment complex. And I remember I went in and I went to go put my fucking key in the mailbox, and the mailbox moved. And then I was like, what the
Am I drunk? What
the fuck is happening, right? And then I realized that like the whole building was fucking shaking. And then my little kid brain, I'm like, oh shit, are they doing construction like from the sidewalk or whatever? Is it like shaking the whole building? And then I walked outside of the little mail thing into the middle, and I saw the pool, and it was just like typhooning.
That's
you know what I mean? It was like splashing. All the water was coming out of it. And then I saw my mom like freaking out like way down there, and people were just running around, and you know.
Yeah, people just run around. No one knows.
It sounds like a fucking
it was
movie.
like crazy because like, you know, we're like in a circle.
Be under nothing. Like so there's no like here we have whenever there's like a twister or something, like especially out in the country areas, people normally have that underground thing that they go to for, what do you call it, people? I don't know.
Well, you don't want to go underground during
storm shelter, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to go underground
or designated
on an
areas.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
That shit just rocks and rolls. Like bridges fell apart, like fucking all kinds of shit. But
what do they advise you to do? Just stay in
get
your
under
house?
something.
Like a bath.
Like,
table
that's
or
really
something.
gonna help. They're
They say,
like, yeah, just get under a table and cover your head.
Or they say get under a doorway. I think that's like the main thing.
Uh-huh.
They
But
say,
I mean, if you're in a building, like say it's San Francisco, if you're in a fucking high rise on the 15th floor, like,
oh, you're just rocking and rolling.
Let me just go to my helicopter real quick.
Yeah, it's not in your hands.
I worked with a dude that he was an older guy, and he was on the Vallejo Bridge.
Oh, no.
And he said it was just like doing this, and he was driving, and he had no idea what the fuck was going on. I was like, fuck.
That is my worst nightmare, is like an earthquake while I'm on a bridge, or anything happening to the bridge while I'm on it.
Natural disaster movies have me like, oh my god.
I don't like watching those movies.
Yeah.
I can't. It stresses me out too much
real.
for like an entire month.
Too real, right?
And that's the other thing too. Like here, if there's a tornado, they give you like a 2-minute warning.
Oh yeah.
And an earthquake, those fuckers just hit.
Yeah.
Like we just,
no warning.
Since we've been together, we've had a couple just small ones. And they're normally like at 3 a.m, and you're just laying in bed, and then all of a sudden, like your whole
you're
bed.
dreaming, it's shaking, and
just
then you
gets
wake up
jerked.
and you're like, oh shit, earthquake.
We're like grabbing the dogs and
Yeah.
shit. What the fuck, you know?
I think I had like when we were kids. There was a time where the huge storm started. There was a whole tornado warning going on. You hear it all the time. And mom's like, get inside, because the wind's like blowing like, and we're all like, cool. They're just like, no, get inside. And we go inside, and then like hail starts, like everything, boxes, anything that's outside starts going crazy, and you're just like, and at the same time you're like, oh my god, we're gonna die. Like this is it. Like our house is so cheap, we're gonna die. We're like, mom's like, go in the bathtub. So everybody like goes in the bathtub or whatever, and especially when we thought the world was gonna end too.
Yeah.
In 2000.
Oh yeah. She had to get in the bathtub
again. Yeah, we bought a bunch of canned food and went to the bathtub and hid under a mattress in the bathtub.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, we're all waiting there, and like nothing happened.
My family had a party. We all went to my uncle's house, and we just turned off the lights, and we all had like flashlights and shit, but we all had like our party dresses on.
We're gonna go out in style, everybody.
I think
was cool.
I just got drunk or something. I don't even remember. I was probably in a van somewhere.
Yeah, and then nothing happened. And I remember telling my mom, man, nobody's dying. Like, thinking we're going to go to heaven.
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't know what we thought. All this camp food.
Which natural disaster would you prefer to die? If it was just going to happen, if you could do...
I prefer to die any.
Like fucking tornado, earthquake, flood, fire, fucking volcano, goddamn sinkhole.
Fuck, man, none of those. None of those. Like, really,
have you seen the sinkholes?
I want somebody
online?
to shoot me. Like, quick.
Have you seen that shit? Where they'll have
Yes.
like just a giant like fucking hole in a city and fucking.
Let's talk about global warming now. Okay, everybody.
We're not gonna get that serious.
Oh man, but yeah, I've seen that shit. I've seen the pictures on, the from the top pictures, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
Drone pictures, I guess.
How did that even happen?
Or this shit
The earth just fucking swallows you,
I
dude.
just don't get it.
It's a sinkhole because of the plates move. Because I don't know. I don't know. Didn't pass that class.
Bill Nye alert. It'd just be weird though. You're just watching Top Gun, chilling in your living room.
Yeah.
Fucking. Next thing you know, you're fucking
Just
100
into
fucking
a hole.
miles under the earth,
How deep does it go? Like,
chilling with the aliens.
like, you're like walking by with whatever you don't want. Oh God! Oh no! It fell in there.
I don't know. Yeah, they would all suck, but
Mudslides, like those are happening in the other parts of the world right now. Thank God, but then at the same time, sorry.
the avalanches.
God damn, yeah, that shit's just scary.
Have you ever been? You've always lived in Texas, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've been to Tahoe a bunch. Have you ever been in a whiteout?
No, what's that?
It's when it snows so much they call it like a tunnel. You can only see like a small like tunnel vision in front of you.
Oh shit, no.
Roads get all like covered in snow. You can't go anywhere.
No, I'll eat my way through the snow. No, does it work?
I hate the snow. I could never live somewhere where it snows.
Yeah.
I remember
sounds depressing.
we used to go from Reno to California all the time, and we used to be broke as fuck. And I remember being in Adam, the duffel bag porn guy, fucking his car.
I like how that's like who he is.
How I remember him. Oh, that's how I remember him.
Well, you got a reference. But he had like a old ass Honda Civic, and it had like no washer fluid in it. And then eventually the windshield wipers just quit working, and his tires are all fucking bald, and we're like trying to make it over the pass near Tahoe.
Bad idea.
And we can't see shit, and I had like a 2-liter of Sprite, and I'm fucking hanging out the window, fucking splashing Sprite on the window because it's the only thing we have to fucking try to see.
Hey, gotta make it work.
And then eventually just got off, like was hanging off the car, just knocking the snow off the windshield and shit. Yeah, just like jumping out of the car and like pissing in the snow because none of the cars are moving and people are just watching you. Oh
my god!
You just give them the thumbs up.
Emergency lines. Go around, people.
We've been through one time. We went to go visit my mom, and this was before Bane. It was just us and the pups, and my fucking heater went out in my truck.
Oh
yeah,
and it was like.
It was -4 in the truck or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Or at least outside it was -4.
Yeah, the pups inside your jacket.
Yeah.
Poor babies. They're so tiny.
I gave them everything I had on me.
Aww.
Towards the end of the mountains, he was like, I can't even feel my hands right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude,
your breath didn't even help.
Oh, no.
My feet were
I've never
frozen.
been that cold.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad for them, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Brazil with Diego for like almost 90 days, the allowed time that I was able to be there.
Yeah.
And the weather was great all the time. And
Was
then
it?
Nice.
yeah, and then to the point where I started getting adapted to the weather, right? Because I was
like
like,
hot
it's
there,
so
right?
fucking hot. And then I was like, oh, I'm cool and taking cold ass showers every day.
Yeah.
But that I would never be able to do here. And then one day I think it got down to maybe like 65 degrees. And I was like, I was fucking cold.
65.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, my body has completely adapted. Like, it's cold, babe.
my
And he's like, yeah,
God.
it's cold. I was like, go inside. Like, and I was like, that's like great weather here. And
Yeah.
it's 65 outside. Like, woo, just a t-shirt. And then now we've adapted again, but it's crazy how different it is. Tropical weather. Get used to the hot.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Mexico for Christmas, but now I guess we're going to Hawaii.
Nice.
We're gonna be used to that kind of weather there.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be dope though.
That's exciting.
We got time for a sponsorship.
Yes, we do. This episode is brought to you by Dark and Jury Clothing. Dark and Jury is an edgy fashion and lifestyle brand that embraces great design and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Jury has quickly gained a following amongst fans of occult, horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers and retailers worldwide without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So buy the best, fuck the rest, darkandjuryclothing.com.
Damn right. So, what about you guys? Do you have any disasters? Can you think of any?
Gosh. My hair in 7th grade. That was probably a disaster.
That's funny.
What about like your proms and shit? You didn't plan anything and something went awry?
No, actually, one of my proms, my
One of them?
senior year.
Cool, you have more than one prom?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You guys didn't?
No, I just went to one.
Yeah, there's 2. Senior and what's the one before senior? Junior.
Junior
senior prom.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I didn't get invited.
Yeah, my senior one, I actually I really didn't care very much, and I was actually running for prom queen. I guess I was on the thing, but I really didn't care that much. I literally worked an entire shift at Starbucks before I had to get ready. I didn't even change my hair.
Yeah. You're just like, fuck
Just
it.
slipped on my prom dress and was like, okay, bye.
Going there smelling like mocha cappuccinos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good smell.
Eau de coffee.
That coffee chocolate.
Yeah.
So good.
What about you?
Disaster stuff. I think I've mostly had when your car breaks down in the middle of the freeway kind of shit, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, and just the car's like, zoom, zoom, zoom. And I'm just like, why me? But I'm like teenager, so I don't know shit about cars, and my mom ain't got time to help me, and we ain't got money to take it to the shop. Dad's gone, so nobody's there to oh, here, let me take care of it, And this one time I got stuck with a boyfriend I had, and he didn't know shit about cars, and the tire blew, and we're literally you merge onto the freeway like 35, so it's a huge freeway going towards Fort Worth, and then so we're stuck, and I literally was coming from this side, and I'm stuck in that little triangle part, little yellow part, I don't know, and I was like, oh my god, because it's just blah 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 blah. I was like, who the fuck? How is anybody gonna get to me? Like, I didn't know how this was gonna work out. But some mechanic guy just randomly stopped. He's like, oh, I'll help you out. And I'm just like,
that's nice.
Did you bitch out that dude?
Fuck yeah, because I was outside of the car looking at what the fuck was wrong. And he was like, he was freaking out 10 times more than I was. And I was like, it's over. Like,
that's
you
fucking,
suck.
It's man 101, dude, changing a tire.
Like, you should put people under pressure if you're dating them, people, and see how the fuck they react. And then that's how you can judge their fucking character.
Blow a tire, see what happens.
Boom, how does he handle it? Does he fix it? Does he help you out?
If you're talking disasters with cars, I mentioned in the first episode about the guy who shot into my car.
Yeah.
But
I
didn't tell the story. Fucking before I met my dream girl here, I was dating some chick, and her mom called me and said that she was dating this dude. He was from Canada, and she had bought this really expensive fucking truck or whatever. And they were supposed to go travel like the country, and it turned out he was a fucking scumbag, and he was like had mental problems and shit, right? He's like a conspiracy guy, like listens to the fucking I don't know the name
part of a cult.
Yeah, like that radio station, it's like fucking, it's just all conspiracy shit. He used to write notes all over the garage. Anyways,
it's a movie.
The fucking dude, they were splitting up, and he was like, I'm taking this truck and I'm going to Canada or whatever. And she called and she was like, hey, can you come over and bring her son Jonathan, and let's go get the keys back from this guy before he bails. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so we go over there. Jonathan's driving. That was the dude, the brother. And then the mom was in the passenger seat, and I was in the seat behind her. And we pull up, get out. He comes out. They start arguing. I'm like, look, dude, I don't want to fuck around, dude. Just give up the fucking keys, or we're going to have a fucking problem, dude. And he was like an older guy. He didn't, whatever. I would have smashed him quick, dude. And he tricked me. I should have been smarter about it. And he said, okay, I don't want any problems. I'm going to go get the keys. And I was like, all right, good. And then the mom was like, let's just go get in the car and we'll get the keys and we'll just go. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I fucking get into the back passenger seat, and he comes out with a 45. And he fucking fires the first shot. The first shot ricochets off the fucking top of the car. Goes
crazy.
Into the fucking garage across the street and gets stuck into the water heater. And at that fucking house, there was a family, and they had 2 children. So, I mean, they got lucky. We got lucky, right?
Yeah.
So first shot happens. I'm like, motherfucker, dude.
Actually could have exploded too, no? The water heater thing?
It could have. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know.
But by then, I ducked my fucking head, and I'm like, motherfucker, right? And they're freaking out. In my life, I've been around a lot of crazy situations. So I'm like, okay, let's go. But these two, never in this situation, right?
Yeah, people.
And the brother is frozen in fear, right?
Fuck yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you want to fucking drive before we get shot?
Oh, yeah.
And right as I'm saying that, he fires a second shot that goes through my passenger window, out the fucking back window, blows both windows out. And then I'm like, Jonathan, fucking drive, dude.
You punched him?
Yeah, I just hit his chair. I'm like, would you please fucking go, dude? And then he snapped out of it and floored it. And then that dude ended up jumping into the truck and taking off, and then the cops got him a couple days later. Long story short, fucking he only got 6 months.
Yeah,
Not even attempted murder, not anything, just fucking firing a gun inside city limits. And he got that because I told the lawyer, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? What are you doing? And
like he was aiming for you all.
Yeah, he was just
what did he say?
Shitty shot.
Self-defense at my house?
No, what the lawyer said was we could try for attempted murder, but since he has no priors, they might just let it go, and then he'll get nothing. But for sure, if we go after firing a gun inside city limits, he'll get 6 months. And that's what all them decided to go with.
That shit's crazy. I don't know if that shit would go down like that in here in Texas.
I hope not.
Because, how many chances do you get to not, they don't have a record, so it's fine that she killed her mom, she's all right. Just give her a year.
Like, let the record start, please.
I know. Like, how do you how is that justified?
Well, the biggest bullshit about it is a few months after they let him out, I caught his ass at the Safeway over near our house that she used to live with me at. And I was with a couple friends, and I caught him, and I just wanted to fuck him up, and he goes sprinting towards the customer service booth, and he's like, "Call 911," like this and that.
He's automatically scared.
And everybody's looking. Everybody looks at me, and they look at this fucking old dude, and they assume I'm the fucking villain, And then the cops show up, and they're like, "Oh, if you lay a finger on him, we're gonna put you in jail." Oh my God. And then I would probably get years. For fucking beating this dude's ass.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's just a fucked system. And then, he filed for a restraining order against me. Against the guy he fucking shot at, dude. That was a fucking disaster. Disaster story.
Yes.
Don't help people for no reason.
Did you ever forgive the guy?
No. I would fucking break his jaw right now if I could.
Like get peace of mind.
No.
No, okay.
No peace of mind.
No namaste. Okay.
No.
Namaste away.
Namaste away. Exactly.
Literally, if I wouldn't have put my head down,
he would have shot you.
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
There's no fucking forgiving you over car keys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe was he drunk and high? Was he on something?
He had mental problems, obviously, but no fucking.
Should have been in a mental hospital at least if he wasn't going to get much jail time,
I guess if you would have took it longer or fight against it and longer, eventually, you would have had to. It would take a long time, I guess, to get the guy. Is what it seems.
It would have took time and money. It's
proof
but at the same time, I'm like, well, how am I supposed to believe in our justice system if that's the scenario? I'll go to jail if I fuck this dude up for attempting to kill me twice, essentially, over a car. So that's why I have a problem with authority.
It's kind of anyway.
But yeah. What else? I got a fun disaster. Like if you want to talk like band stuff.
Oh, I got a fun disaster too. Kind of fun.
Kind of fun?
No, it's not really fun. It's kind of embarrassing.
Well, even better.
Please tell.
Well, we were talking about authority. Now you talked about the cops too. I have like a love-hate relationship too. I don't know if I've said this before, but I was on a date. Right? I was talking to this guy who was from California, and he came all the way down. And
from California?
From California.
That's a long way down.
I'm down to meet you, girl. I was like, I've been pulling them out of state, out of country.
Yeah.
Used to. And then I was like, all right, come down. And then, whatever. We spend the weekend together, right? And he's like, I want to go bar hop. And I was like, nah. This was when I was younger. And I was like, no, my driver's license or ID or whatever is not like the updated one yet. It's still the one that's like up and down.
So you were like 13?
No, I think I just turned 21, I think. And I was like, no, it's not updated. Let's not go bar hopping. I have a bad feeling. Like, they're going to think my ID is fake and there's some bullshit. And it had already happened to me before. So I was like, nah. And then he goes, please, let's go. Come on, I want to go see the night scene. I was like, all right, let's go. We go, and I'm just, like, fucking nervous. Like, man, I know they're going to bullshit me. This shit looks crooked. Like, it looks weird. Like, it really did look crooked on there. It looked like a fake ID, but it wasn't. And doorman gives me all this bullshit, and I fucking get an attitude because I get mad. And I'm like, no, I'm leaving. And he goes, no, you stay right here. And then this cop comes, and I was like, I'm leaving. He goes, no, you're going to stay right here. And I was like, fuck. And then he's like, what you say? And I was like, I was so mad. And I was like, wait, keep it together. I'm on a date. Oh,
so you're saying that to the cop or to the door guy?
Like, to the door guy and the cop at this point. Oh, because he pulled the cop in to, like, come help me with the little bitch or whatever. And I was like, you're the little bitch. And it's just, it's like, okay. So, I tried to leave twice, and I got arrested, okay, in front of everybody. It was at this bar, and there was, like, a whole line of people trying to get in. I got arrested in front of everybody. I'm like, what the fuck? And the only reason why he arrested me was he's like, let's see what you got on your record. And he sat there and looked and looked and looked and looked. And I was like, there's nothing on my record. What do you mean? And there was a fucking traffic ticket that was going to expire like in 24 hours. So he made me stay there all the way to like midnight so that he could take me in.
Wow.
I was like, you bitch. Like, you know. And then I drove the guy with me, and he's from California. And then so I got arrested. He goes, hey, what do I do? And I was like, call your brother. I was like, fuck, you know. I'm like on the cop car, like and then
call Uber, bitch.
You know, yeah, Uber didn't exist back then. But I was like, oh my god, it's so fucking embarrassing. And then like everybody was in line, and I was like, oh, that's the other dude I talked to. Oh, how embarrassing. No. You know, it was like that kind of shit happening. And the cop took me in and all that. The story just gets worse. Because they arrested, they put me in a little jail that has like all these other crazy ladies in there. And some prostitute was in there, and some other people that got in a bar fight, and this other girl that stole shit. And I'm just like listening to them. So then they start fucking fighting because one of the girls there was like looking under the bathroom stall where the girl was peeing.
Oh my god.
Her pussy
Creeping,
and shit.
dude.
Yeah. She's like, oh, look at that. And the girl got mad. She got out of the restroom. You know, they just started fighting, and the fucking balls like rolling. And I was like, oh my god, I swear to God, if they hit me, fuck it, I'm already in here. I'm getting ready. And here come the people, you know, and just like, oh, I didn't do nothing. And it was fucking ridiculous. And, you know, and I'm like, man, this sucks.
Do girls have creepers like that in bathrooms? Like
yeah,
in normal?
Yeah, they're just crazy.
As a dude, that shit happens a lot, dude. Like there'll be like 10 fucking urinals,
and
you know, because of the guys, there's no dividers normally.
Yeah. Oh, how weird.
And fucking 9 times out of 10, I'll be taking a piss. Some dude will come all the way down the thing and come sit come stand right next to me and fucking piss, dude. And you know, they're just like looking over at your shit.
What?
You know?
Do you tell them something?
Weird.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know,
You've told them?
Or you give like a dirty look, or it depends on the scenario. But
is this how like gay guys hook up in the bathroom?
Maybe.
They're like, hey,
maybe. He's
like
like, I don't know.
Or they're like, oh, like peed on them.
Peeing on them.
Bitch? What you looking at?
Do I have a gay vibe?
God.
I never even thought about that. Like,
no.
The thing is, like, when people that are gay, which I'm cool with, they feel the same way a heterosexual person would feel. They're just attracted to, you know. There's it's just what it is. It's not like a.
But still, like say it was a man and woman restroom for some odd reason, and he was like taking a piss. I would be like staring at his junk while he's saying, I'm like, I don't even know this guy.
Somebody's getting somebody might get sued.
Or somebody might get a wink.
Or somebody wink. I don't want to get into that stuff. Let's just move on.
We got time for a sponsor?
Yes, we do. This episode is also brought to you by Mod Ministry. Mod Ministry merch creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests the societal limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out the Mod Ministry Etsy page for handmade harness lingerie, 5-star rated seller since 2014.
Strap that sexy shit on.
My lingerie is not a disaster.
Yep. Burlesque. Just fucking sexy time, whatever.
Yep.
Hit it up. Let's see. Let me tell you that band story. This was like a huge show for my band at the time, and it was like a total disaster, but it's my favorite disaster. It was in San Francisco at the Great American Music Hall, and it was this thing called the Min-Key Battle of the Bands. And it was covered by Fox 11, like the local news and like all this shit. And it was a big event. And typically it's like popular rock bands and stuff, not extreme bands. But a few weeks before, we had played a show called the Rise of the Underdogs Festival, and we drew a lot of people to the show. So this promoter just saw that we had drawn a lot of people. So he called me up and he was like, hey, would your band like to fill in for this band that dropped out? And we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. And he's like, okay, well, there's a bunch of rules. You got to show up like early, and you got to give like an interview to this like thing, because you know, to the local news, because they're covering it, and no like profanity, no like any of this kind of shit, right? And we're like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, okay.
And, so we get all of our like most hardcore fans together, And we show up to the venue on time, but then there's like bands are waiting in line to talk to these fucking reporters, and we don't give two fucks about it, right?
Yeah.
And we heard that this place down the street had like apple beer or whatever.
Tacos.
It was like in Frisco, so we're like, let's go, or watermelon beer. That's what it was. And we're like, oh, dude, let's go get some fucking watermelon beer. Yeah. So we fuck off and go and we ditch out on this interview thing. And then we come back and the dude's all fucking amped up, you know, like, where'd you guys go? Blah, blah, blah. We have a deal. And we're like, dude, gives a fuck, man. There's like 10 bands.
Yeah.
And so it's like a long night. It's about 10 o'clock. We're getting ready to go on. They had 2 suicide girls there. They were running like promotions for the suicide girls. And they were passing out swag, and they were making dudes do stupid shit on stage for like...
For a t-shirt.
For t-shirts and just mugs and dumb shit, right? And we're like sitting up there, and they're just going on forever, and it's taking forever. So we're like, you know what, fuck this. And then we just go over, and she's like, okay, so now, like, you know, stand on your head and scratch your ass or whatever. And like, I'm like, no. All right, contest over, you know. And I kicked the bags into they were on the edge of the stage. I kicked them into the crowd,
job, bitch.
And then I take one bag and I just fucking huck it, right? And it ended up flying and hitting somebody at the bar, and it actually cracked their head. So I don't know that happened, right? And the owner and the promoter or whatever, they're over there dealing with that. And then only thing I ask at my shows ever, I'm not a diva in any way, shape, or form, is just don't give me a fucking mic stand. Because when mic stands are on the stage, either I swing it, somebody gets hurt, I get fucking hurt by somebody else.
Someone's going down.
Mic stands are just bad, right? I don't need it. Just give me the fucking mic, right? And I asked the sound guy politely. I said, hey, dude, just no mic stand. Just, you know, it's bad news for us.
Yeah.
And he's like, old guy, like, don't tell me what to do, you know?
Kid.
And then I go up there, and he had taken the mic and wrapped the cord around the mic stand a million fucking times.
Yeah.
To fucking prevent me from taking it off it. And I was like, son of a bitch. So I unplugged the mic, which squeals, you know? Right? And then so I kicked the bags into the crowd, unplugged the mic. It's like, what? Right? I see him stand up and freak out. I'm whipping the cord around the mic stand to get it free. I click it back in. It makes another big ass noise. It's like...
Tell me you didn't throw it.
Then I picked up the mic stand, and there was a door to the side of the stage, the dressing room where the bands were hanging out, and I javelined that motherfucker right into the door, and it just went right through the door.
Cheap ass door.
Died.
Nobody died, but one of the bands, it was an all-girl punk rock, like kind of Blink-182-y type band that was in there, and they were like, they told us the story later, they're chilling on the couch, and then the mic stand just went through the fucking door. They're like, what the fuck? You know? And then my bass player, his name was Adrian at the time, he pushed one suicide girl into the crowd, and then the other one, he grabbed her and he gave her a kiss, and then dropped her into the crowd. That girl that he kissed was the promoter's girlfriend.
Oh, fuck.
So
this story keeps getting worse and worse.
So they're dealing with the guy with the busted head. We just threw the girls into the crowd, and we damaged the door. And not to mention, we're the only extreme hardcore metal band in the fucking building.
Like, just barely started.
And so I'll post pictures of the crowd. I have all this shit still. I have video of it, everything. And so in the middle of this fucking crowd of just like hipsters and fucking like people who listen to Lady Gaga and all this bullshit is our fucking hardcore fucking fans. Right?
Oh, damn.
My boy Rhino, fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And we just fucking rip it up. We start fucking playing. Just explodes into a hardcore karate mosh pit, right? People have no idea what's going on. And the club, because it's softer rock music, only had 2 security guards there. One's outside, one's inside. That guy had no idea how to stop anything.
Yeah.
Because it just opened up.
Probably never even seen a mosh pit before.
Yeah, it just opened up. We just tore the fuck out of this place. And then my bass player Adrian ended up getting into a wrestling match with the promoter at the end of the show because he wasn't going to pay us.
Oh.
He's like, I'm not paying you guys shit. I'm not doing anything. You guys are fucking banned. And then we were like, fuck you. You know what I mean? We just got into this whole thing, and then he ended up wrestling with this dude, and we all got pulled apart, and then we bailed before any cops showed up. But the best thing was, a few days later, I got this email, and I printed it out and framed it on my wall. He was like, you guys are the most destructive, fucked up band I've ever had to deal with. You fucking dangerous.
Fucking Motley Crue.
You'll never fucking work in this city ever again. I'll never book you on any of my fucking shows ever again. Blah, 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 right? And I'm like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And I fucking framed it. And then, and so we're banned, right? And then 1 year to the day, it happens every year. It's annual.
Yeah.
I get an email. Hey, would you like to play? Because we brought a bunch of people, right?
He made a lot of money.
Well, he had put somebody else in charge of booking the bands. And that person just looked at our numbers. They're
didn't know who he was. That he was banned.
Didn't know the whole situation and was like, oh, they drew good last year. Let's have them back. And then I got the email and the call, and I was like, yeah, we would love to play that. And then we started promoting it. And we're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking go back. And then the dude caught wind of it, and then he fucking shut it down. And he's like, no. I think the email was like, no. He didn't even like explain anything. He's like, no fucking way in hell. It was like something super short and sweet like that.
Yeah.
So, but it was a disaster of a show per se, and it probably burnt a lot of bridges, but. Fuck it! It was worth
fun,
every moment of it. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
All right, we got life in the comments section.
Yes, we do. Go ahead, Susana.
Yeah, we got from YouTube from Money God.
Money God.
With 2 W's. Money
Oh,
God.
gangsta stuff.
Money God. I don't know how to say it.
Bad.
It says, Sean's stories are amazing. Kylie seems well adapted, and Sue's very fun.
You seem well adapted.
I'm adapted.
You're an adapter.
What is that? Yeah, what does that
I
mean?
don't know.
Raptor.
You've adapted to.
I've adapted to
living
podcast life,
living
I
with
guess.
me?
Yeah.
Putting you through
I don't
all
know
this?
if I have, actually. I'm learning a lot about you on this podcast. I'm like, who did I marry?
And yeah, let us know what you think, Money God. Thank you for watching.
Thank
Keep
you, Money
tuning
God.
in. Whoop, whoop.
You spelled your name Sue.
Oh, yeah, it was Sue.
Does anyone ever call you Sue?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Diego does call me Sue, too.
Oh, okay.
He's like, hey, Sue.
I spelled my name with an H.
Sean's is.
It's Sean, dude.
I think he spelled it like the way he pronounced it, like how the way he was saying it. Like Sean's is it, like, because he also spelled Money God.
Yeah.
So.
Look at us picking apart people's spelling.
Hey, Money
I know.
God,
I'm fucking terrible.
You're cool. It's probably just a personal thing.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm Irish, so I spell it Sean.
Our next comment comes from YouTube, also from Kristen House.
Kristen House.
In the house.
She's our number one Patreon.
Yeah.
Our only Patreon.
We love you, Chris.
She says, I used to sneak out all the time. My mom has a Delta 88 that had hella good shocks.
No.
To get back in my window, I would get her car bouncing till I could jump back through my window. My window was at the top of the wall, and I'm 5'2".
Damn, that's fucking cool.
Well, that must have been when we talked about like sneaking out and stuff.
Oh yeah, in
Yeah,
another
in
episode.
one of the other episodes.
Which was fun to talk to her about it a little bit. I think we were kind of messaging on there.
She's bouncing on the hood of an 88 Delta.
That's just cool,
It's a creative
right?
way to get back in your window.
Yeah.
I would beat Bane's ass, dude, if I went outside and he was jumping on the Challenger, just like trying to fucking get back in his room. I'd be like, no.
Like,
buddy.
that's some circus shit, right? Like some
Yeah.
Circus Soleil. How'd you whoop,
Right?
get back in the room, safe and sound?
That's tight.
That's funny.
Well, that was a fun one. You guys got anything you want to plug or say?
I want to give a shout out to my cousin Alexia Ceballos. She
Alexia.
loves the podcast. She's been watched all the videos, and she said she really likes it, and she's gonna keep watching.
Cool.
Love you.
Thank you.
What about you, love?
No, modernministrymerch.com.
I saw you were working on some new little panties or something in there.
Yeah, I just launched a new design. Some cute little underwear.
What's it called?
I forgot what I called it.
Sweet.
I saw it was green. Is it the green
Yeah, it's the
machine?
green one
The
in
green
there.
machine.
I'm just launching it.
The green
But
machine.
yeah, I have a couple new tops coming out too. I'm just waiting to get some of the professional photos back from Andrea Hunter Photography, who is amazing.
Ooh.
But yeah,
Shout
those
out to
photos
Andrea.
are gonna be fire.
Nice.
I'm same stuff, working on the Last Nail in the Coffin record, and I'm going to LA like I said before, and I'll be on Stevie Weeby show. If you guys haven't checked out Stevie Weeby yet, check it out. He's the brother of Bobby Lee. He has all kinds of awesome guests like Theo Von, Eric Griffin, and Sean Skellington.
And he randomly plays the piano, which is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yep. He has a dog named Kirby. That's fucking dope. But other than that, we will see y'all asses later.
Later.
Bye.